And it looks like we're live. Hello, everyone. I am Alexi. I will be the keeper for this game. We are here playing uh, Empire City Apocalypse Keys Unsleeping Metropolis Session 2 of 4. This is a game organized through the Gauntlet gaming community. Go ahead and learn more at gauntlet-rpg.com or by following the Gauntlet on Twitter at GauntletRPG. So many cool games are going up here each and every month. And if you want to play with us, there are ways to do that. You can sign up for games. You can get in on wait lists, and often people get in off of wait lists. You can also keep an eye out for the next Gauntlet Community Open Gaming because those are always a lot of fun, and those are our chance to invite people in to play with this community and get a taste of the indie RPG experience that we prize so highly here. The game we're playing tonight is Apocalypse Keys. Apocalypse Keys is in development from Jamil Najani of Sword Queen Games for Evil Hat. And Apocalypse Keys tells the story of monsters fighting monsters, pushing back the darkness of the apocalypse while dealing with their terribly complex feelings. It is Hellboy inspired, particularly by way of the Guillermo del Toro Hellboy movies. The setting we are playing in is Empire City. So this is a setting that the Gauntlet has been playing with as a sort of shared urban fantasy, New York setting where we tell stories set in and around the various boroughs of New York City using games like Urban Shadows and now Apocalypse Keys. Yeah, that's a pretty good introduction, I feel like. Let's meet our wonderful players. I'd love for each person to introduce themselves with their name, pronouns if you wish, online handle if you so desire. I can start us off. I'm Alexi Sargent, he, him. You can follow all of my gaming endeavors online at Cloven Pine Games. So definitely check out Cloven Pine Games on itch.io and on Twitter and on DriveThruRPG, where you can pick up the PDF of the Great Soul Train robbery. If you didn't get the chance to back it on Kickstarter, it is now available for purchase. So let's see. Stephen, will you introduce yourself first?
Hi there, I'm Steven, he, him, and I've been here on the Gauntlet for 2 years now. Not much else to say about me.
Good to have you, Stephen. Ferret, you're up next.
Hello, I am Ferret, or Sawyer, either name works. I am can be found at Ferretheim Games at itch.io or on DriveThruRPG. I mostly make stuff for Monster Hearts 2, a different form of monsters for your perusal. And I'd also like to shout out the Kickstarter for the Monster Hearts Small Towns Initiative of this Brave New World, I believe it's called, and looks pretty interesting. You can find me at Twitter at Ferretheim Games. Ferretheim Games. That is Realm of Ferrets.
Excellent, very good. It does feel sometimes like Apocalypse Keys is the story of Monster Hearts characters who grow up and then are tasked with saving the world. So God help us all. Greg, introduce yourself next.
Hey, I'm Greg Gelder. I use he, him pronouns. You can find me most everywhere online as Group Soliloquy. And at some point in the very near future, there will be another thing that you can do that I'm not going to talk about quite yet. But
a teaser,
a podcast, hopefully in the not too distant future.
Okay, very good. Great to have you, Greg. Jesse, last but not least, please introduce yourself.
Yeah, I am Jesse. I've been playing games on the Gauntlet for about a little bit around 3 years now, something approaching that. And yeah, I have nothing interesting to share beyond that. Be good.
Good to have you, Jesse. Let's meet our characters. We're gonna go back across, and we will hear a little about each of these characters. Particularly if you would just give us a sense of what the darkness demands of them and why they fight for humanity in the division. So, Stephen, tell us about the Summoned.
Well, hey there, I'm Newt Nightbreath, the Summoned. I escaped from the fairy realm a while back. Became a part of who do we work for? Who?
Division.
Right, Division, right. I'm sorry. I'm not good with names. I did last week adopt a cat, Mixtress Fairwumps. I also opened a canopic jar. Turned out not to have organs inside. That was a pleasant surprise. I think it had passports inside.
Weird,
Yeah,
right?
I think that was what I accomplished last session.
Absolutely. Yeah. And as alluded to, these monsters work for an organization called Division that keeps the apocalypse at bay. Division stands for Department of Interdimensional Vigilance and International Security Interdisciplinary Operations Network.
Wait. So are we the division or?
You work for Division. That's how it goes. And in this case, Division is headquartered in the Flatiron Building of Manhattan. Very good, very good. And Newt, you don't look entirely human anymore, even though you are originally human. Yeah, remind us just a little.
I do. I am very tall, have a bit of a hunchback, silver eyes, and orange skin, long tail. Otherwise human.
I didn't remember the tail. All right, good to keep that in mind.
I mean, I lose it sometimes, but it grows back and.
Very good. Let's meet our next monster. Ferret, will you tell us about Yawachika the Surge?
Yes, I am. Yawachika is a lovely person, or was before the ritual. I mean, still lovely. Person, very debatable. When you are a conduit, at the very least, for an eldritch being, it's kind of hard to keep the sanity or the ideals of such weak morality alive in your body. And when you can do anything at the flick of the wrist, like take away parts of a god, why should you control? No, I signed up for this. I'm going to be good. The means can justify the ends sometimes when you've been a sacrificial lamb.
Yeah, absolutely. So you were sacrificed by a woman you trusted, and instead of her getting the power she sacrificed you for, you came back with that power and are now kind of struggling your way through the world with it. You've also got these tattoos that shift and change, and there's a psychic symbiote that lives in you and comes out in the tattoos.
Yes, symbiote is useful sometimes, useful enough to keep around.
But the symbiote does not deserve a name, as has been established.
No. I mean, symbiote's more of a title than a name anyway.
Yeah. Good. Yawachika. And as the Surge, you have, tremendous power and some, conflict about how best to use it, or, whether you ought to have it at all. So I'm excited to see that play out. Let's turn to our next monster. Greg, will you tell us about Untitled the Shade?
Sure. So I'm playing Untitled the Shade. The Shade playbook kind of plays with death and the other side of life. And Untitled is very familiar with that, having previously been alive. Untitled was killed for an arts performance, a performance art installation in Brooklyn. And became a sort of swirling black mass inside of a tuxedo. He's constantly attended by a ghostly figure, just kind of in the periphery of vision, called the Artist. And he's also gained access at Division to the Forbidden Gallery, which we've reflavored the Forbidden Library. And the Shade, Untitled, is very focused on art and experiences death as a impressionistic kind of painting and the changing landscape, finding art in everything.
Very good, very good. And doesn't remember very much of his mortal existence.
Yes. In fact, there was just the briefest of glimpses into his past life when we found Miss Fairworms last time. And then the clue, the key that Untitled came across was a map of Central Park with a number of pyramids drawn on it with blood. He discovered this by essentially reliving the corpse's final moments.
Yeah, you were letting the dead speak, and they spoke in this,
I'm pretty sure I did it like right in front of the animal psychic too, which was probably very unnerving for her.
Yeah. Your contact with this case is pet psychic Jacqueline Balmer, and she was indeed a little alarmed as gouts of blood started dripping out of this artistic vision appearing in midair, but it turned into paint by the time it hit the ground, so that's all good. Let's meet our last monster here. Jesse, will you tell us about Biff Brown, the Fallen?
Yes, I'm playing Biff Brown, as he's known to the citizens to sports fans all over America, as star pitcher for the New York Mets here in Empire City. But historically, I'm better known as the god Odin, who snuck out the back before Ragnarok to avoid the restarting of the cycle, and as a consequence may have pissed some people off. But he's still around. I'm still around. Still trying to drum up the adoration of worshipers. To feel what it means to be loved and feared. So the darkness desires of me is to create dark churches in my name and to storm heaven, to take out my rivals, whomever they may be, and receive the adoration of the masses. And that's part of why I'm part of Division, because first of all, it's a great position from which to take out my any competition. It's number one. And, it turns out, and I think as I discovered briefly in a moment in our last session, there are different ways to be adored and worshipped. And helping people can get you that too.
It's true.
But you lose some control there and working it out.
So speaking of the competition, right? Speaking of the case that these characters have embarked on, we've been playing a mystery of my creation called Threading Cleopatra's Needle, where the monsters initially turned up in Central Park to investigate 4 corpses floating around the giant Egyptian obelisk, Cleopatra's Needle, that for real exists in Central Park, but usually doesn't have corpses floating around it. And in the course of their investigation so far, aided by the pet psychic Jacqueline Balmer, who's very excited at the chance to be a Division contact here. The keys that the monsters have uncovered so far are hieroglyphic welts across a dead man's face, an echoing voice seeking for a true heart, a canopic jar filled with passports and IDs dating back for many centuries, and a map of Central Park with non-existent pyramids drawn on with blood. So those are some interesting things to be starting off with. If it's all right, I might begin here by hard framing us just a tad to kind of bring all our monsters together and say that the agents have had the chance to brief each other on the clues and keys they've come across so far, and that the 4 of you, and if you'll let her tag along, Jacqueline Balmer, are in kind of the maybe a bench near like Bethesda Fountain, which is the kind of center point of Central Park. it's picturesque scene, right? You're far enough away from the needle and the scene of the crime that there are now tourists around, right? You're no longer within the cordoned off area, but maybe if you've picked up coffee or whatever it is that each of you drink, you have a chance to to compare notes and put your heads together about the next step in the case. Does that sound all right for folks? We'll say then that the that in the process of all this, right? Like as she's gone and grabbed a latte for herself and anything else, Jacqueline has said, so let me make sure you got everything that I saw, well, that the cat saw, and then I saw when I connected with the cat. And of course, the cat is on your shoulder, Newt. Still like slightly nervous about any number of things, but seemingly happy to have found a perch there. And Jacqueline says, "So I told you about the sword, the khopesh, and the flash and the scream, and then there were these images of different people, an old man with an enormous beard, staring from behind a tree, and a statue walking around, and this pale woman." And as she describes these people, and I'm going to go ahead and say, Untitled, you are the one who reads up on Division files. It seems you're the one who picked up the pile of notes from Division. So we'll say these descriptions all match with people of interest that Division has highlighted for you, so that I can just put those right into the NPCs tab as far as people that Jacqueline says Miss Fairwumps the cat saw in connection to this terrible event, and Division has given you some information on them. So I'll go ahead and put them into the NPCs tab right now. But yeah, you've given some of this information that you're starting to glean, and the information you've been able to share with each other. I am very interested in how you want to go about this investigation. Newt, what's your reaction to all this?
To the vision in particular.
To any of the investigation so far, now that you have a chance to catch your breath and touch base with your fellow monsters.
Yeah, well, I guess that when she's talking about seeing all these people, I guess I pull out some of these passports and show them to her. Do any of them look like any of the folks in these here passports? Or
she stares at them. She says, the old man with the beard could look like these people, but it's a little hard to tell. It was a huge beard.
I haven't entirely ruled out the cat as a suspect.
The cat hisses from Newt's shoulder.
Miss Jacqueline, you said you had seen what the cat has seen?
I'm a pet psychic. It's my job.
Good. It is easier to ask you than to inflict this upon the cat, but I would like to read your mind and see what you have seen.
You're psychic too?
You could say that.
She kind of, gulps a tiny bit, but she nods. And anything to be helpful.
Yeah, so Yawachika will place a hand on her head more for show than anything, and I'm going to unleash the dark.
Oh, interesting. Just
I have
to,
no darkness to spend.
do you have you done anything that might have triggered darkness?
Well, I'm acting. Maybe I'm acting numb to. Actually, no. I'm given to my power and I don't see. I guess number 3 is kind of it. I'm asking someone to use my power as they see fit. As I'm asking to.
I don't know. It sounds like you're in control here.
Yeah, like I'm asking to use her as a conduit. So yeah. I guess no. I'll just go flat. I was going to do that anyway.
All right. Flat roll on unleashing the dark to connect up with Jacqueline's mind here.
Oh, that is a 7. But I think. Oh, I may. Oh, I have the move with my symbiote. I may just have to scar her to allow my symbiote to boost that up to +1. And I think I'm gonna do that by I reach out to her head, and then Yawachika grips down, and the symbiote starts swirling around his arm, and comes out like this Ankh tattoo, and absorbs her head to allow him to see her thoughts.
Amazing. So let me just check. What move were you rolling?
My little monster. It allows me to get a +1 or -1 as if I had used a bond. If I can use my symbiote in the.
Got it. So as long as you can justify the help of the symbiote,
with the moves it can help with, which I picked Unleash the Dark, Power Through Darkness, and Grasping Keys.
Good moves. I'm double checking the moves here. I'm not. I think it might be Power Through Darkness rather than Unleash the Dark here.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah,
it's good. I'm thinking because I was thinking it through. You're not trying to enforce your will on someone who's resisting or anything, right? Like she's trying to cooperate, and you're just trying to forge a connection here, right? Like a psychic connection that will that will help you investigate the mystery. So. Yeah, I think Power Through Darkness might be what we're looking at, right? When you push the limits of your supernatural powers.
Isn't also Grasping Keys is use your powers of darkness to gather information?
Yeah, I can see either of those.
Yeah.
I was throwing it out.
You were judicious in which moves the symbiote can help with, so it could also be Grasping Keys, but...
Yeah, whichever one you think is better between Power Through the Darkness or Grasping Keys, I will go with. Because I'd been trying to... I want to get information either way, so...
Yeah.
I mean, I guess maybe if you want to use this as a setup to go actually enter the vision and then investigate parts of the vision, maybe Power Through Darkness.
Can you take us all with you into the vision?
I mean, on an 8, I think he can, right?
Yeah, let's do that.
Because Power Through Darkness says, on an 8 through 9, you use your powers with great precision and effect, changing the situation before you. Additionally, the Keeper may offer you a reprieve, a golden opportunity, or a bond with someone. This feels like it might be a golden opportunity, where this connection is strong enough that Yawachika is able to usher the other monsters into the vision.
Sweet, I'll take it.
Yeah, you said the symbiote kind of took the form of an Ankh tattoo.
Yeah.
And it kind of so basically it came up off of you and settled around Jacqueline's neck like a collar, essentially. Yeah, and her own eyes kind of as this passes over her own eyes suddenly manifest this classic Egyptian hieroglyphic eye motif, as if that has suddenly appeared in response to this, in response to your symbiote. And she blinks a couple times. She says, "Right, yes, the vision," and all around you, it starts to appear. Right, the dark, a dark night in Central Park, a few kind of candles in the darkness, lighting the sides of this obelisk, and somewhere in the near distance, indecipherable chanting. Untitled, you are suddenly inside of this vision, thanks to Yawachika. What do you do?
So Untitled, there's like a faint chanting in the distance.
Oh yes, a faint chanting in the distance.
Well, I mean, now that it's nighttime, my powers are, at their peak. So I'm gonna like start bending the shadows around the whole group of us so that we can all get very close to where this chanting is and not be seen. I'm going with like Matrix logic here. Like if we get hurt in the dream, we get hurt in real life. So
obviously,
yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna try and disguise the whole group, and sort of have the shadows cling to us so that we can get close to the chanting without being seen.
Yeah, because one of your powers of darkness is shadow magic.
Yeah. One
Nice.
second. I want to see if a painting might make more sense here.
If you've got if you want to bring something to bear from the Forbidden Gallery.
No, I think it's it might make more sense if this goes poorly. But
yeah, save it for in case this goes badly. And tell me a little. Are you kind of like giving your companions any heads up about this, or is this just a suddenly you're in this situation and your instincts kick in?
Yeah, I think my instincts kick in because this is it's obviously quite the transition, but maybe not the first time it's happened. And I know that like if we with this group, they're just going to charge headlong into it. So I need to, have a little bit of caution.
All right. Yeah. So I kind of feel like this might be another power through darkness. If the idea is to like use your powers so effectively that you've kind of cloaked your whole group from being seen or heard.
Would this wouldn't be the 8 to 10? I'm aiming for the 8 to 10 on Unleash the Dark. Sorry, because it's like avoid reprisals, harm, or cost. Gain the upper hand.
Oh, fascinating.
That's more of like a lash out at someone situation.
So let's take a look. When you unleash the dark within you to enforce your will on someone, physically, socially, or emotionally, spend darkness tokens and roll. If the idea is that you are going to like mantle the group in shadow and then like rapidly approach where you hear the chanting, I could see this as unleash the dark. Note that of course the possible consequences there are that you've greatly underestimated the threat these people pose.
Okay, so, I see how this is more power through darkness. When you push the limits of your supernatural powers, straining through the extraordinary or avert imminent danger. Yeah. Okay. Yep. Okay. I will spend my 1 darkness token.
All right. Go ahead and roll +1.
+1.
I'm not in the rolling room. Let me get in there.
Okay. Sorry. The recent rolls is where I look first when it's actually last roll, which is a 10, which actually is a problem.
Yeah. A 10 is good.
No, 10
right?
10 is good. Sorry, 8 to 10. Yeah.
8 to 10 is the sweet spot. You use your powers with great precision and effect, changing the situation before you. Additionally, Keeper may offer you reprieve, a golden opportunity, or a bond with someone. Yeah. So tell me a little about the look of these powers, right? Like how does it feel to you and your companions as you wreathe them in darkness?
Right. So Yawachika's sort of vision is this kind of ambient changing in our environment, right? This sort of we realize slowly dreamish kind of way that we're in the vision and it's now night. Untitled's power is like somebody has poured like black paint at the top of a sphere and it's just going down around the vision of everyone. It's almost like a vignette kind of look. And we know that we're cloaked in darkness now and we can approach without being seen.
Yeah, beautiful. So I think and how do you what does but presumably that's kind of a one-way thing where you can see out of the kind of darkness you've brought around yourselves, right? Like, does it change how you see out, or is it kind of like like
Oh no, that's just sort of like your vision. Like everyone's vision is just sort of like this black ink on the outside of it, and then to others outside of it, just we're always within the shadow of the tree, or we're masked by something.
I see. So you just kind of sort of always happen to be hidden is how this the shadow manages to work. Okay. So yeah, the five of you, six of you counting the cat, are able to like close, completely detect it, and you see a yeah, you see like five figures in robes. One of them standing in the front, wearing a like ceremonial Anubis mask, and holding an Egyptian khopesh sword. And then four other robed figures line themselves up and kneel down as the lead figure, the masked blade wielding one, reaches the sort of like climactic moment of this chant, and raises the sword, ready to strike down their acolytes, it seems. You are right there, so far undetected, and you get a boon as well. I think Untitled, the boon is that you've got your group all close, and Biff, you're the one who spots quite nearby, like watching this unfold from behind some foliage, that old man that Jacqueline had described, who perhaps you've encountered in your own peregrinations through Central Park. It's Old Man Joab, a homeless man who has seen many things, and this is yet another one of them.
So just a question. So we're here in this vision.
You're here in this vision.
Is there a sense in which the actors that we're seeing here have like any kind of autonomy, or is it just like them like playing out a predetermined set of actions?
I'm fascinated by this question, and I'd love to know a little more about why you ask.
So I want to invoke Call Me Master here, to try and like wrest rest the worship away from whomever they're worshiping and direct it at me. Both because I certainly were I encountering this in the waking world, that's what I would do. But I think that like I have enough. I think that like Biff would like have enough sense to like recognize if these are just shades and it doesn't matter. I
think Newt does not have enough sense to recognize that.
well, so that's my question. Like, are they just shades, and does it not matter?
Here's what I'll tell you. I am totally down to see you do this. I think it's, unless this like goes incredibly well, it's unlikely this will have any like effect on the events that have already transpired. But the vision, this could, if you disrupt the vision itself, it could like go in ways that like reveal more to you than we would have just watching it like replay what happened.
Well, here's my thought. Tell me as like an intent sort of thing. Maybe and I don't know Yawachika exactly how your power works here. But maybe if this goes well, right? Some of whatever I do to whatever I do at least gets moved through those who survived to Old Man Joab and perhaps the masked person. into their wherever they are, their actual selves.
Nice. Yeah. Somehow this like vision could connect with the reality
There's
of these people.
astral connection or something to the.
Because I was like trying to connect to the people she saw. It could be like literally connecting to them.
Yeah.
Yawachika's powers are manipulation of cosmic energies. Who knows what those can do? So
Mhm.
I'm open to you giving this a go.
Yeah, and honestly, I'm a god of the dead too. Maybe the spirits of those who died also.
Untitled will put out a very like ghostly hand in front of you, Biff, and go, "Must the shades worship you too?"
I mean, I think I just stepped forward.
Because you're really got a lot of darkness, and Untitled I trigger when I try and make people stop following their heart. So
no, I mean, this is what my heart wants. I think I stepped through that ghostly hand, right? Or push past it if it's more physical. And I think I manifest in one hand a spear made of lightning, and in the other like a ball of lightning.
Nice. A royal, like the royal orb.
Well, so there's like a scepter and an orb, but there's a ball and a bat. There's a spear. There's a lot of different things going on here, right? And of course, I'm a sky god and a storm god, even if my son has the better reputation today for it. And I say, stop your misplaced sacrifice, jackal. Turn, see my power. And the lightning like crackles along my arms and shoulders, and my eyes start to glow, and I think my beard has this blue crackling lightning, right? And is this like actual weather power? Is this fey glamour?
Yeah.
Yawachika looks at Jacqueline. You thought he was Osiris.
and I say, bow before me. And as I do, I'm addressing the sacrificer and the people, the acolytes, but my eyes also turn to Old Man Joab, and look him right.
Single eye.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, my eye. Yes, my eye. Well, I think actually you can see the glow through the eye patch too, right? There's an empty socket there, but it still
glows. Yeah, absolutely.
As I turn to the to also connect, I say bow before me, and I'm going to spend 2 darkness tokens on this.
Okay, all right, spend 2. And while we're checking on darkness tokens, Untitled, did you take some darkness for feeling ignored?
Yes.
Yeah.
For feeling ignored and trying to get someone to stop following their heart. Yeah. So much for that.
I'm actually going to get 3 because I just asked something.
Yeah, that sounds like 3 darkness tokens. Are you still there, Jesse? Shoot! At the dramatic moment, you're kind of coming through as frozen. Can anybody hear Jesse? All right.
Do we just want to call an early break here, or?
Yeah, it's an interesting idea. I feel like it. Yeah, I feel like it's hard to check in on other stuff going on till we know how this gambit of Biff's works. So perhaps an early break, and we come back at on the hour. Yeah. All right. See you all in about 10. Hey, Jesse.
Sorry about that. Something I had to reboot. I had to restart my router.
Oh,
What you
shoot.
get for borrowing your internet?
Yeah.
Yeah. Made for a very dramatic cliffhanger, though.
Yes.
So
Thanks for taking the break there.
no
So
worries.
I think what I was saying as I got cut off is that I'm hitting like a ton of my triggers as I do this.
Hmm.
So I think I'm actually spending 3 tokens and taking 2 to
Ah,
get me back
see.
up to 5.
I see. So you
uh,
will have 5+ tokens after the move.
Yes, I it was unavoidable. I'm not going to spend 4. It's a little absurd, but the Call Me Master just hits all of those things. So let me roll first. And so that is 2d6 plus 3. Worship me. And that is an 11, which is not amazing, but not terrible. I overdid it.
Got 11. Yeah, that's the you go too far possibility. Are you going to spend a bond to bump that down, or stick with the 11 plus?
Oh
result?
no! I want to take that. I want to wonder if it's what I truly desire and receive a terrible vision of my future. So I think the thing I demand is worship me. Tell me, fulfill a single command exactly as I wish. I want something that will also fit this kind of weird fiction that we're in. I'm gonna, and I think you know what? I'm not trying to achieve any of Division's goals there necessarily. But maybe something will. No. It's. I'm trying to think of how to phrase this. I know what I want to happen, which is I want whatever this ritual did or will do to kind of be deflected toward. I want to be connected to the power of the ritual. Right? Like and this is to. And I don't know, like maybe this is like I don't know that I can get probably like this. Well, I'm kind of sorry I can't talk English. I feel like I'm a little boxed in by the mechanics here, because the reasonable thing to ask for is what is essentially a key.
Yeah.
Right. Like what I'm looking for here is like for them to give us the next thing. I don't do that with this move.
Ooh. What you're asking for, would that not be they will grant you new temporary powers? If you want something from the ritual?
Right. I mean, but really what I want is for is another clue, right? Like that's what I but this move
effectively that's fulfilling a single command exactly as you wish.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like you could use the command for anything, and if you use the command to say like tell me about the ritual, or tell me information, right? It could translate into a key.
Okay, awesome. I mean, that's really what I want to do. That's what I'm going to say. I say tell me what the purpose is here. But I'm not sure. Like, do I really want the worship of these death cultists? Right? Is that really what I want?
You wonder if this is what you truly desire.
Yeah, and I have a terrible vision of my future, where I'm standing on the roof of the Flatiron building at the point, looking down at what should be Madison Square Park.
Yeah.
But instead, or in the center of the park, there is a temple of black marble. And on the roof of that temple of black marble is an altar, upon which this priest, this Anubis masked priest, whose face I don't see,
Right.
But you could tell by their form, and instead of wearing the jackal mask, the Anubis mask, they're
It's
wearing
a raven mask.
well, it's a bear mask.
Oh.
Which is a different animal association with Odin, but
Okay. Yeah.
fits the name I chose. And so old man Joab is being sacrificed on that altar to me.
That's a nice terrible vision. Go
it's a
ahead.
terrible vision. I'm gonna mark ruin.
Mark a ruin. Yeah. So you demand, as you put on this display, you demand to know what the purpose of this ritual is. Yeah. And the priest, kind of lets fall the Kopesh in awe. The acolytes kind of like crawl towards you, and like one of them holds up with trembling hands this book. It looks like a Bible, this leather bound book, but if you take it and open it, you'll see kind of within covers that would make it look like a Bible to like any New Yorker who spotted it. Instead, there's sacred texts of the cult of Amit the Devourer. And you can go ahead and mark that as a key. The key is a leather-bound Bible that actually contains sacred texts for a cult worshipping Amit the Devourer.
And just a clarification before we resolve torn between.
Yeah.
So the move says, in addition to the stuff, right, the pick list, the move also says that just like on. Well, it doesn't say on any hit. It says on an 8 to 10. I did not get a 10, so maybe I haven't claimed new worshippers. Never mind.
You've definitely. That's interesting. You wonder if this is truly what you desire. I think you've claimed worshippers to some degree, right?
Right. Well, I think
but you feel conflicted about it.
Yeah, and even on the 8 to 10, right? It's not like they're like my lackeys or anything, but they're but there's that connection there of they, to some extent, they worship me. So just but yeah. So torn between.
Like effectively, because you're wondering if this is what you truly desire, maybe you're not actually claiming them.
Right.
Like they're offering it, but you don't want. You realize you don't want it.
Yeah, I like that. I think that's like, and then it's out there. So I'm torn. So I can. I'm not going to do that though. And I think I'm gonna. What I'm doing is I'm letting my monstrous nature show and describe the damage your outbursts causes. And I think what this is actually. I think there's like the lightning, and this is happening back in the park too, right? This is happening in the vision, but it's also happening. We haven't talked about whether our bodies are still there or what, but this manifests in. This is
going to break out of the vision, you think?
Yeah. I think it has to, because I want this to have like concrete effects beyond the group. And I think there's just like an explosive crackling of lightning. All of the from by the fountain, right? It's conducted through the fountain. It does some small amounts of damage to that. Shatters a bunch of street lights, sets a small fire in a tree, right? There's like a little mini lightning storm in the square around the fountain.
I imagine as you're firing off lightning freely about the place, Newt shakes his head and says, and honestly, he just punches you in the jaw.
Oh man. Newt, you're just gonna punch Biff to try and shut this thing down.
Firing off electricity everywhere, and I say, and this is why we do not play with death cultists. I mean, help me out here, guys. This is kind of a give me, right?
All right, so let me check. Jesse, you cool with Newt rolling a conflict move as like a moment of PvP here as he tries to shut you down?
Oh, absolutely. I just want to. If it goes badly, I'm not going to take it well. Can we just can we talk about the stakes? Actually, I just would feel a little bit better if we talked about the stakes for a second.
Absolutely.
So
So Steven, you're aiming to kind of basically like it's kind of you think this is kind of a snap out of it thing where you want Biff to like stop causing collateral damage.
Yeah.
Am I right about that?
Yeah, basically.
So
I'm also kind of saying, come on, it's a give me. It's death cultists. You were like, hey, let's just go off and have them worship me. That's a great idea.
Right. So definitely, if you succeed, it works. I think failure maybe failure. I'm not going to take it well.
Nice. There and since I'm think this is probably going to be Unleash the Dark, success and failure will be kind of modular, right? Like an 8 to 10, you choose 2 from a list that includes options like avoid reprisals, harm, or cost. So not choosing that leaves you open to reprisals, harm, or cost.
Yeah, and I'm unleashing the dark through anger and violence, so I take 3 darkness tokens before doing so.
You do take 3 darkness tokens before doing so.
I'm also overreacting with violence, and I feel like I'm lashing out at Biff, and this is getting me pretty angry, so I'm going to take another 3 to push me up to 8. And I'll spend
just to check,
3.
8 darkness tokens.
Yes.
Okay.
I know there's a lot that's going to be happening here. I mean, Biff was the one that decided, hey, let's play with the death cultists, though. So
let's play with fire here, sure.
So yeah.
Y'all are gonna make me pull out a painting.
Cool. All right, so you've win up to 8 darkness tokens, and now you're spending 3 on the roll.
That's a 10. Yep.
Wow. Okay, so this is definitely gonna connect, and you're going to get to pick some options from the wield the darkness with control and ease list. Before we do that, I'm just gonna like give us a sense of the scene all around, right? Since Biff was starting to spark, right? And I think like there's like a Yawachika, you are kind of like connected to Jacqueline to like bring everyone into this vision, and you see her like looking back and forth among you, and she's like whispering kind of frantically, is he supposed to do that? Isn't that dangerous?
We're all dangerous.
I tried to stop him.
And yeah, and then kind of I think we get camera pulls out, and we see the present day location of Bethesda Fountain, and lightning has like leapt across the surface of the fountain, and started a small fire, knocked down a statue, and people are starting to run and freak out, normal civilians in the park. So Newt, you decide you're just going to punch Biff. What do you pick from the Unleash the Dark list here? You get to choose 2 because you got an 8 to 9 there.
I'm going to get past their defenses and inflict a condition and get what I want from them. I'm not avoiding reprisals, harm, or cost, though, so throw it at me.
Okay, so what you want is for him to stop this.
Yeah.
And you're also inflicting a condition, but you're not avoiding reprisals.
Yep.
Biff, what condition are you taking as your teammate just like socks you in order to get you to stop demanding worship?
Okay, so this is a little bit of a safety question. Are people comfortable if this turns me on?
Noting the condition options you have.
Okay, sure. This is I mean, you're the last person who is not in love with me, so
well,
love might be a strong word.
Yeah.
I mean, who's not in lust at the very least. So I mean, like I said, full set.
Yeah, so I'm taking lustful. And I think what happens is like the lightning just snaps off like that. right? It's just
I think it
gone.
probably like throws like I think there's probably like a lightning bolt, and I've done like that movie thing, like 80s movie where like we see the electricity special effect, and I'm like thrown back, like kind of smoking a bit.
And I rub my jaw, and I walk over to help you up, and as I do, I lean in towards you and whisper in your ear, maybe sometime you can do that to me again in private.
Nice. Newt, any reaction, or it's just totally like at a loss for words? Oh, you're muted.
Oh, trust me, there's a lot more where that came from, and I'm taking the condition raging.
I see. So Newt remains enraged.
But yes, I have also hit my breaking point. Sorry.
Wait, what?
Yes.
Breaking point,
5.
or just torn between?
Oh, no, sorry, torn between. That's
Yeah.
right. Sorry, I was thinking of conditions.
Yeah, if you fill up on conditions, you hit your breaking point. But when
right,
you
that's yeah.
After a move, if you have 5+ darkness tokens, you are torn between. So let's talk about this. The darkness demands something of you. It demands you to fall in love with the harbinger of the apocalypse and to push away those you need most. So I think the darkness is calling on you to fall in love with Biff at this moment. Tell me what you pick from the torn between list.
Right. Is that in basic moves or
It
situation
is.
moves?
It is. When you're torn between your monstrous nature and your human heart, or when you are tempted by what the darkness demands of you, make a choice. You can choose to let your monstrous nature show. You can choose to diminish your power and conform to what society demands, or you can spend a bond with someone and have that person, center you in some way.
I'm willing to like help you get up if you, I don't know if you have a bond with me.
Yeah, is there what let's look at. I'm taking a peek here. Newt's got one bond with Yawachika, one bond with Untitled, and one bond with what the darkness demands of him.
Yeah, I mean, I actually think that I kind of grab Biff and like kind of give a throw and send him flying back into the like I'm not necessarily making a move here unless you feel like it qualifies.
But you're pushing him away.
Yeah. I think that describing the damage my outburst causes, I think like as I'm walking away, like I like literally just pound my fist into the needle.
Oh shoot. So you're marking ruin as well here.
Yeah.
Letting your monstrous nature show as you push away your teammate and break the environment a little.
May I just I'm okay with being shoved away, but if it's like the real kind of violence that's going to knock me back on my ass, like I that to me feels like an invitation to something. But if you're just shoving me back, I'm cool with that.
Yeah, I'm just shoving you back. I'm pretty angry right now.
I also think possibly like you would have the chance to just like brace yourself or whatever, right? Like he might have shoved you hard, but you managed to hold fast. You say you hit the needle itself.
Yep.
Nice. Yeah, you see cracks start forming through the whole thing. Yawachika, over by you, Jacqueline has suddenly like a big psychic nosebleed as she's like, I can't hold you. You're breaking this. You're breaking everything. I can't hold the vision.
Yeah, I think that's what I was going to say. Like when the crack hits, I want to say like Yawachika's eyes like begin getting bloodshot as like the psychic overlay. And it's enough, all of you, fucking enough! And he rips his hand off of Jacqueline to end the vision.
Nice.
Oh
So
no!
you're cutting us off, right? Like, so suddenly, like, with the, like, suddenness of a bucket full of cold water, right? All of you are standing in the middle of Bethesda Plaza, and like people around are like yelling and pointing, and like someone's like futilely trying to put out the fire that has sprung up on a like little vendor cart nearby when the lightning bolts were flying everywhere.
Yeah, and I think I'm feeling overwhelmed enough. I'm going to take 4 darkness tokens for that.
You're taking 4 darkness tokens as you feel overwhelmed. Fair. I like it. Let me check in. Untitled, what are you doing?
Well, as this dream state collapses around us, Untitled just screams, "You fool! I almost had him!" Because I was planning to grab the Anubis character in a painting and like suck him back into the real world so we can. So yeah, Untitled, like as we collapse back into the Bethesda fountain area, is just gonna like rage off in the direction of old man Job, or where Untitled believes he can find him.
Oh, nice. So you're setting off in search of this witness.
Yeah, I mean, I assume that like where he was in the dream state might be kind of close to where he is in reality.
Perhaps you'll at least be able to track him down if you go there. Yeah, I am game for that. Does anyone follow Untitled as Untitled kind of rages off, or are the rest of you going to go in different directions? Newt, yeah.
I'm just punching the real needle now.
Oh, you're not right next to the needle right now. Okay. The needle you punched was the one in the vision, and that started to break the whole vision. And then as soon as the vision disappeared,
I thought we were also near it in real life still. Okay.
You're in the park, but in a different part of the park. You're in fact, a more populous part of the park.
Yeah, Newt's stomping around angrily then.
Nice. So you're kind of in a huff, but not like taking note of where Untitled is going.
People are ignoring me.
Yeah, Biff, you had a move you wanted to hit.
Yeah. This is just like a very quick thing, but I think like there's all this chaos happening, and Newt is like storming around, and I think like a kid it's always kids here. A kid like walks up to me and says, "Mr. Brown, did you do that?"
Yeah, absolutely.
And I get down on one knee to be down like and then like stoop over because I'm real big and he's a little kid, and I like just look him in the eye and I say, yeah, sometimes it was a mistake. It was a mistake, and he says, you wouldn't hurt people like that on purpose, would you? And I say, I really, really hope not. That was a fan reaching out to remind me why my working division is important.
Lets you clear a condition.
Clearing that lustful condition. Yeah.
Yeah, you center yourself here. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Yawachika, you're the one near Jacqueline as she kind of like collapses forward as the vision falls apart.
Yeah, I think there's a moment where she's falling where he actually is kind of human and catches her. And there's shock on his face. She may think it's shock at her falling. It's more shock at his response.
Yeah, and she kind of says like weakly, "Thanks. I'm so sorry. I couldn't. It was so hard to keep it going, and I don't know how you do it."
If anyone should be sorry, it is me. You should take out your aggressions on me. You should rend me from this frame. You should do something to put me in my place, to remind me that I'm human.
Human? I'm human. You're something else.
Thank you. That'll do. And I asked her to punish me for using my powers, which now puts me at 6 darkness.
Oh, does it? Okay.
Yeah.
You perhaps notice around this time that Untitled has disappeared.
I'll sigh and I mean, everyone's been torn between so far, and yeah, I think I see Newt stomping around. I see Biff talking with a kid, and Jacqueline let me know I'm not human, so I'm good with that. So I'll slink off after Untitled.
All right, nice. So Yawachika trying to seek out where Untitled has gotten to. Cool. I'm up to check in on that in a moment. I guess let me check back in with Newt. Newt, you are feeling the rage. Are you hoping for a fellow monster to connect with you? Or are you going to be able to?
I actually think that I am going to shout at Biff for a bit. He's still right here, right?
That's right.
I come over. Biff, I'm kind of thinking of the phrasing here. You want power too much. I've had to spend too much of my life running away. I've tried to think of you as a nice person, but I have spent too much of my life running away from power and making certain that I do not let my destiny hurt people around me. For you to go around getting a bunch of death cultists to, I don't know, sacrifice some homeless guy, do you? I mean, and I am humanity was a dream. When I would reveal my heart to an PC or NPC who may become a harbinger, I mean, instead to describe why I am destined to become a harbinger and how this makes me afraid.
I see. So you're kind of, in a very particular way, you're revealing your heart by talking about your dark destiny here and why you try to run from it.
Unfortunately, I mark one ruin, and the harbinger within me stirs and reaches out to the other person, bringing our hearts far closer than any confession ever could.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. So yeah. So Biff, you get you hear Newt's anger, but you also see within him a terrible
within him
and beautiful creature of destruction that he could be.
Yeah.
Let's look at what else happens with this move.
Yeah.
So you
I
choose
think I'm gonna kind of lump them together a little bit. That I've seen the dark, beautiful things that exist beyond this world. I've seen that they are far scarier than anything I have ever seen from you or Yawachika. Well, Untitled, I don't actually know what their deal is. I don't actually understand if they're scarier or if I'm just not getting it. But I'm pretty certain. And I know that there are beautiful things beyond this world, but I know that there are dark things as well. They hurt me there for a long time, and I don't want anything like that coming here. And so I'm revealing a beautiful shared memory. Oh, actually, it has to be a shared memory. Oh no, what does it mean reveal a beautiful shared memory? Because
I think you can interpret it. I mean, especially with someone who's been around as long as Odin has, it's quite possible he's seen some of these beautiful things as well.
Oh yeah, I mean, I have a response to that I think will fit nicely.
Yeah. So first off, we both mark XP, and we both get 2 bonds on each other.
Fantastic!
Nice. Wow, what a powerful move.
I mean, I have to mark ruin to do it though.
Well, that's how they get you with those ruin moves.
Yeah.
Cool. So you're each getting XP, and you're getting 2 bonds on each other.
And then, Biff, if you check over to my character sheet or the
I see
moves, you can also choose to mark 1 ruin. and then you also get to choose one if you do.
Yeah, I mean, I absolutely do. And here's hold on, let me just, I was on my sheet for a second, but going back to yours. And yeah, I think I reach into a pocket and take out a little clay pipe. And I sort of like dip into that pocket again, and I'm like looking at you, sort of, I'm doing this without looking, like slowly, put a pinch of tobacco in, tamp it down, and I snap my fingers to light the pipe. And like this just this silence after you say that. This is like a full 25 seconds of just like dead silence. I think I sort of like used one hand to sort of like move the kid back, but he's probably watching this, right? And there's people around.
Yeah, that's fair.
This picture is going to be on page 6. I'm famous. And
so
I'd
it's
marked.
going to be at the front of all the really, really, really lowbrow tabloids.
Yeah, that's that's page 6. I draw. I say, you talk about the beautiful things and the dark things, like they're different. But some of them are, and some of them are. Certainly, I think you when you told me when you described seeing that sacrifice vision. I don't think I'd realized other people had seen the vision. Right? I think I thought it was just something that I saw. I'm
not sure anyone but Newt also saw it.
For sure. I'm certain for sure, but certainly I wasn't aware that Newt had seen it. I'd say. Darkness can be beautiful too. And I say, I hope, I want you to be able to see that. So I'm revealing a hope I have for you, which is that you can see the beauty in darkness. So you get to clear a condition.
Hey.
And I think I kiss you. Are you okay with that? Is that something you're comfortable with?
Sure. I think though that definitely the moment you do, Newt just turns like magenta. That's Newt's blushing color.
Yeah, and it's not like a. It's like a very it's a short and soft kiss, right? It's not like a
I mean, I still turn magenta.
Yes, you should. I mean, yeah.
I love it, and the camera pulls back from that. Two monsters sharing a moment in the slightly ruined Bethesda Plaza, and it will cut over to.
Now it's making the front of the tabloids. Biff and the Lizard Man.
And we cut over to let's say Untitled that Yawachika has caught up with you just before you yourself find Old Man Joab, who's kind of ensconced himself in a kind of corner of the park, a little like gazebo, right? Like he's kind of clearly stashed some of his stuff in the corner of this little partially open to the elements building, and then he spins around. He's like, "Whoa, who's there?" As you are approaching. Does that work for the two of you to set the scene that way?
Yeah. So Untitled knows Old Man Joab, as Untitled has been in the city for a long time.
Yeah, he's a fixture of the park, absolutely.
And Untitled is going to sort of, before Old Man Joab sees him, he breaks off some flowers, and he starts swirling the air in a pattern, and he's trying to make the appearance of this kindly groundskeeper who has passed, but cared deeply for old man Joab. And he's going to use her as like a puppet to glean the information from old man Joab, because the rest of them have forgotten, but there's a mystery to solve.
Yeah, absolutely. You have a special connection with death. It sounds like you're trying to kind of pull up the image of a departed shade to use as a mask here.
Correct. Yeah, I'm trying to interview old man Joab. Ooh, I like it even more if like my physical appearance changes. Maybe Yawachika sees this. That I'm taking on her appearance.
It's cloud by default, so you're like taking on a different appearance here. Yeah, do we think this is kind of an extension of Let the Dead Speak almost?
Yeah, that's what I was going for.
Yeah.
Was Let the Dead Speak, and let them speak through me.
Nice. I feel good about just letting you do that, and we'll call for a roll if it gets dicey along the way, right? But yeah. So like in the for person of this groundskeeper, you were able to approach old man Joab. Yawachika, are you just are you playing along, or what do you do when you kind of catch up with Untitled right as he pulls this ruse?
Well, this is a rare time to get a personal preview of a new art piece, so I'm watching, waiting in the wings, so to speak.
Yeah, Joab kind of like says, Susie, you're still here? You're what's going on?
And she puts her hand over his very gently and says, Joab, there was something you saw last night. A man in a mask.
Yeah. I've seen lots of things. That's me, old man Joab. Seen so many things. And
yes, but this man in the mask, where did he go?
I think you're grasping for keys.
Yeah, that's what I'm going for.
How many darkness tokens are you willing to spend on this?
I'm willing to spend 3. I think that's about right for math. All right, here we go. That is a 10.
Nice.
I think
okay.
Yeah, she speaks very softly. And we need to know. He hurt people. He hurt me. At this point, I'm lying, but
well, that's why you're spending those darkness tokens, right?
Yeah, right.
He hurt you, Susie. Why? I oughta. Look, I didn't see everything. Just thought it was some kind of an art project or something, and then it wasn't. People were dying. I managed. I saw some head into a back entrance of the museum. That's as far as I saw, but I snagged this. He dropped this. He shoves into your hand a torn up bit of correspondence, right? Like it's a letter of some sort that's been torn, but if you glance at it, it's easy enough to decipher the words "the army of the unworthy dead."
Ooh.
And that'll be a key.
Yeah, and Susie smiles and says, "Thank you. This is exactly what I needed, Joab." And she kisses him on the cheek. And I think that's sort of the darkness demands that I bridge the gap between the living and the dead. And so I think that's as far as I can hold it. And I turn back into a black mist as he closes his eyes.
Nice. I love it. And you hear a little like slow clap as like at the corner of your eye, the enigmatic spirit of the artist is present and showing approval of this performance. Yawachika, what's your review?
Yawachika just has this, I think, bizarre for like it's one of those ear to ear grins, but with no mirth in the eyes behind it. Looks kind of like a gangster about to reveal some kind of game they're about to play. I think I've figured everything out now. We need to get to the other two. Yeah,
I'm tired of the other two.
Oh
man.
Oh gods, I have Alpha and Omega, and I think Yawachika like takes a moment to think about Newt for then, like gets that emotional imprint of the embarrassment / kiss. And his eyes go wide, then the smile slowly fades.
Oh,
yes, maybe you are all that I do need right now.
Oh yeah, because there's a piece of you're bound to by fate. Cool. Yeah, absolutely. So it sounds like you're building towards unlocking Doom's door.
Yeah. So I get to say what I believe it to be.
Yeah. So this is kind of a. I guess it doesn't say explicitly that everybody has to be present for this, but I picture unlocking Doom's door as usually being the like we all get together and hash out our theory and make the roll.
I think we need to like still get the other two, even if Untitled and Yawachika realizing that maybe they are better off alone.
We can say that Yawachika has begun theorizing, theorizing in transit with Untitled. And
this has got to be like, I know exactly what's gone on. Then we like the edit to pan away, and he's not said anything the entire walk back.
So where do we want to gather? Are you meeting back by the fountain where there's a tiny bit of a commotion? Are you going back to the needle itself, or stepping out of the park or anything? There's always places to pick up coffee or falafel or whatever you want in New York City.
I vote for the needle.
You vote for back at the needle, the scene of the crime.
Yeah, the needle's fine with me.
Biff, Newt, shall we meet back there? All right. So, monsters back at the needle, ready to put their heads together. What are you saying here, Yawachika? You're the one who said you thought you had it figured out.
Yeah, and I think like he's like looking through the passports that Newt had, and it's just starts counting them up. Hundreds of unworthy hearts that did not measure up to the feather of Duat, and now some fool thinks he can control the unworthy dead. Probably is going to do the AMC thing of I'm going to unleash a cruel and disdainful plague of the undead upon the world. You will have to follow my laws now. It seems kind of basic, but I mean, they went through a bit of trouble to get all these hearts and people.
And what about the map with the pyramids drawn in blood?
Oh, maybe those are who he's going to go after. Or, he's not trying to summon a mutt, is he? That would just be terrible. That'd be devouring a lot of other things.
I'm wondering if he actually does need a specific pure heart to do that. he is after all. He does after all. There wasn't a heart in the canopic jar. Usually, I kind of expected to find that in there, and I was actually pleasantly surprised that it was not.
Yes, I know you have an aversion to seeing people's hearts, Newt.
Ooh. Right in the superating chest wound.
I'm. Yes, I usually, along with many other bodily organs, I guess. You're right.
I guess
So he's weighing the hearts. He's weighing the hearts for their worthiness. Has been doing it for a while. There's a number of perhaps mass graves denoted by these pyramids.
mass graves or people who were once inside them. Joab said he was going to the museum after all. Maybe he's tracked down that pure heart.
And Untitled will gesture to the dead bodies unless they've been cleaned up by Division.
I think Division has successfully brought them down and kind of strapped them to stretchers so they're no longer floating, but they're still around here.
And these four with the hieroglyphics upon their face are perhaps
maybe used to pinpoint that heart he needed.
After all, they do seem to weigh a lot less than a feather right now.
Yes, that is my theorizing. Should I roll the 2d6 plus 2, I believe it is?
Because so the math here is we subtract the mystery's complexity and add the number of keys you have uncovered. So it's a complexity 4 mystery, and you've got 6 keys. So it would be a roll at plus 2 indeed.
And then that is a 9.
I believe that is good. Let's see. On an 8 to 10, you have tracked down Doom's door. You know exactly where it is and how to unlock it. In addition, the Keeper will present an opportunity to protect what matters most, take down the Harbinger, or otherwise drive back the apocalypse. Yeah, absolutely. Did the theory point at a where for Doom's door? Are we gonna work that out now?
I think the museum, probably.
I like it.
Presumably the Egyptian wing, right?
It's got to be right. So, I think we,
Oh, is it that mausoleum that's at the
Temple of Dender?
The Temple of Dender, yeah.
Yeah, it's got to be that, right? It's got to be that we smash cut to the monsters, in the museum, and it's we'll say that this section had under construction, caution tape all around it, so museum visitors weren't coming here, and then you arrive, and standing up in front of the temple is this robed figure again, right, with the mask of Anubis and the khopesh, and he spins around. He says, for a moment I glimpsed. What are you doing here?
My servant. Are you here? Are you here to sacrifice more for my glory? And I say this. I've got a big. I'm still smoking the pipe, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think I look tired and old. And I think my guess is the rest of the team, this isn't like before when I was asking them to worship me. I think the rest of the team can sort of see that I'm not, I'm trying to leverage what already happened, but I'm not invoking it, and I'm not sincerely calling for worship.
Nice. Okay. Yeah. So you're just you're asking this and the kind of masked figure sighs and like reaches up to remove the Anubis Anubis mask, and you see the red bearded face of Dr. Breckenridge. He says, "You are trying to pull me away from the gods I serve, old one-eyed one. But I know you are no true god at all anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You stepped out of the cycle. But the pantheon of the old kingdom, they are ready to resume the cycle again. If I can only..."
Did it take you a long time to come up with one-eyed one?
Yes, I have much better names. Spear Shaker, and that the pipe disappears from my hand and the lightning spear appears. Bear, and my my head takes on the illusion of a giant bear's head, of a brown bear's head with hold on. Had this open before and then I rebooted my computer. Lord of the Aesir and thunder and sort of like thunder cracks and the sound of rumbling hooves is heard as if my followers are coming, the ever booming as my voice echoes, All Father Odin, and I think I am if people are cool with me doing this, I think I'm unleashing the dark, the sort of fey glamour, is the dark power I'm using. Yeah,
to enforce, like, overawe him, basically.
Yeah, to enforce my will on him. And I'm gonna roll two. I'm gonna use 2 tokens.
All right, so you're rolling +2 darkness as you unleash the dark to enforce your will on Professor Breckenridge.
Mm-hmm. And that's a 7, which is just barely good enough.
No, 7 you have greatly underestimated.
That is really bad. That is really bad.
Are you cool with that, or do you want to spend a bond on this? Obviously, greatly underestimating them, has many dramatic possibilities.
Yeah, no, but I want to spend a bond on this.
All right,
I do want to spend a bond on this. And who do I have bonds with? A lot of people. Bonds with everybody. I think I kind of want to spend a bond with Untitled.
Hmm.
And I'm wondering if this is like, I mean, this is I'm doing art, right? That's what this is. This is a performance. This is 100% a performance.
Oh man, it's performance. Yeah, Untitled. What do you
then like flashing back to that performance you were at where Untitled died?
So I don't think so. I think it's flashing back to a conversation we had.
Okay.
About performance. Where we talk about I think I said, I mean, I don't want to get too heady here, but like, I think it's hard not to but I think it's a conversation about, like, interaction with other people as performance, like living as performance.
I think Untitled once told you that the greatest performances get to the very edge of being truth.
Right. I think that's exactly what it is.
Because you're playing up the whole like I am Odin and like bow before me. Like this could be your big like pushing it over too much and calling too much of your old power back.
Right.
But yeah.
But it's also like rumors of my death have been greatly exaggerated. Yeah, for sure. I love it. And then when you spend them, it bumps it to it? What does it do? It bumps +1 to my roll. So I'm moving it up to an 8.
All right. So we've got a 8 to 10 on Unleash the Dark. You wield the darkness with control and ease. We heard the description of that, that kind of powerful display you put on. So you choose 2 from the Unleash the Dark list.
So number one, I want to get what I want from them. Which is, it's not exactly worship. I want to be clear that like I'm not demanding worship at this moment. I think just I want to have, at least for the moment, like not learned the lesson, but like that's not a feeling I want right now.
Yeah, you demanded that earlier. You're moving in a different direction here.
Yeah, at least here I'm like okay, what would it feel to do right if I, but I'm still, I think but I do sort of like want what I want from him is to recognize my power and like abandon what he's attempting. And I think that's tied to gain the upper hand. Right. It's like my power, my current power next to the power he's even trying to invite in is just, at least again, in the moment for now, right. Seems to him just so great that there's no, that fighting it is pointless. And, if you want to like dampen that a little bit, so it's, to play into the next, whatever happens next. But, I definitely like, he's seeing me in a certain way. And that is dampening his fervor for the pantheon he's currently trying to bring in.
Yeah. So you're like to some extent neutralizing him as a threat.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do.
But you haven't avoided reprisals, harm, or cost.
Correct.
Great. Yeah. So I think like he stumbles back, and he says, "I've been so deluded. I've devoted my life to the wrong cause." And he holds up the khopesh and then like snaps it over his knee and says, "I take it back. I will not take the heart. I will not open the door." And in response to this, the whole room starts to shake, right? And kind of rumbling fills the space, and I think that like from the jet columns of the temple, you start seeing just a swarm of scarab beetles descending, and as they crawl down from the temple columns and get to reach the ground, they start growing in size, right? And you have suddenly these huge beetles starting to swarm over the floor. Some of them are starting to swarm around the professor who's calling for help. Others are advancing on the 4 of you. Does that work as a reprisal, harm, or cost from this moment here? Cool. Yawachika, what do you do?
Yawachika sees the beetles coming forward and shakes his head. "I don't have time for fancy speeches. Besides, how much wordplay do you need to say, 'I kill gods'?" And he holds out his hand and begins to just let the power flow through him to get rid of every last single one of these beetles because they infuriate him. So,
Yawachika, are you giving into your true power?
I am. So I'm going to take 2 tokens because I was going. And even if I spend 3, I'll still have 5 left over.
Is this? I'm wondering if this is your move on Knife's Edge.
I think it is.
All right. So you're going to spend darkness tokens and roll as you are being the conduit for the higher power of darkness that you were once sacrificed to.
And that is a 10.
All right. On an 8 to 10, there's a brief moment of serenity before your power crashes through. At any time during the scene, you can choose an option once from the list below. You can choose 2 in total during the scene. So you kind of have these kind of these options to play with. And tell us what does that moment of serenity feel like? Like, how can you tell that you have channeled this power and have some like measure of control over it in this moment?
I think there's it's like he's almost falling back into an isolation tank or a sensory deprivation tank. It's just like the coolness of the void, the almost like being in third person over himself, like he'd be playing a game or be marionetting himself from the void.
That's perfect. That's perfect. So there are beetles swarming around, and some of them are now seem to be like attacking Professor Breckenridge himself, in retribution for his lack of faith here, his turning away from the true path. Others are advancing on your division teammates. Yawachika, what do you do?
Well, right now I'm torn between, and I'm going to let my monstrous nature show.
Okay, so what does that look like?
I think
Yawachika, mark a ruin.
Yeah, Yawachika raises his hands and like he's instructing an orchestra to reach the crescendo, and just begins lifting every single beetle up into the air. And like for a moment, it looks like the doctor is safe and happy, and then Yawachika actually cruelly grins. You worship the gods. As I said, I kill them. I'll follow you into the underworld, and I drop the beetles completely over him.
Wow. So you're marking a ruin there.
Yep.
Untitled, you have a close personal relationship with death.
Oh, is he dead?
You feel him die, right? As these monstrous beetles that came to punish him for his defection are given the chance to get at him. Now death of course is like more of a spectrum than many people believe. So it's possible that with effort you could pull him back, if you act fast. Up to you.
I mean, he's a friend of division. He's just down the wrong path. I feel there's something else at play here. Yeah. Oh man, I was thinking of something completely different, but now that he's dying,
life comes at you fast.
It does. Okay. So yeah, as these beetles crash down on him, it's like there's this flash in Untitled's mind of that, like those Egyptian sarcophagus art, right? And it's like the lid is closing in on Dr. Breckenridge.
Oh, nice. So it's like the sarcophagus is like he's the mummy inside the cave.
Right. And I'm going. I mean, it's what we do. We love each other, but apparently, occasionally, we need to slap each other and get each other back under control. I'm going to try to. Hold on. That doesn't really get me what I want. I was going to reveal my heart to Yawachika, but the options there don't really allow me to do that.
It may work. I have 2 things on Knife's Edge, and one of them is I can just stop someone from being hurt.
So the question, yeah. So we can.
Oh, okay.
If you want to play it this way, we can say that like some of the stakes here is if you can genuinely connect with Yawachika, Yawachika will pull back from the brink himself. Does that work for everybody? Let's see that moment. Untitled. What do you do?
Yeah, so I'm seeing this sarcophagus vision from Dr. Breckenridge, and as I touch Yawachika, I say, "There's more here at play. See what I see." And Yawachika doesn't see it as the sarcophagus, but as the ritual for himself when he was sacrificed. Right?
Mother
Like
Superior
those beetles
standing over
become
him
the
there.
knife that are coming down on his heart. And I'm like, it's not. He is but a lamb. We're not here. We're here for the shepherd.
Yeah, roll that heart.
Yeah. Oh shoot. Yeah, I do have to roll for that, don't I?
Yeah. What
Maybe
darkness
this doesn't
are you
work out so
spending on
well.
that?
Oh, and I'm asking someone to follow my instructions. So I'm
You
going
can take darkness,
to.
yeah.
I'll take 3 darkness for that. So I'll just burn all 3 of them. All right, here we go. That's a 7. What does the 7 look like on that?
Something interrupts or undermines the moment. An omen, consequence, or an aspect of the mystery itself. The keeper will tell you what happens next.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what happens with that.
Great. So yeah, so Untitled, you are reaching out, right? You know, like attempting to get Yawachika to pull back, you know, and then at that moment, Jacqueline comes racing into this room. She's like, "I found you all. I had it. I figured it out. You have to watch out for it." And then of course, the one of the beetles scuttles forward, right, to like clamp her, in its its pincers, and a ghostly form rises up out of the beetle, holding up a knife, and kind of hissing, "Breckenridge has brought us the true heart after all," as it gets ready to go right for Jacqueline. Let's take a break there.
Should I mark a condition for that?
Oh yes, please. That makes sense.
I'm gonna go with obsessed.
Yeah, I buy that. Let's take 10. Be back at 1:15.
to clarify, I was thinking back to a Noah Sar module called Slumbering Urson Dunes.
Yes, Slumbering Urson Dunes.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you're
I've
familiar
not
with
actually
it?
read it. I know of it, but I've not read it.
Oh yeah, it made me think of it because there is a character who is the bear god, who is the seeker of honey, the hirsute lover of men.
It's amazing. I mean, I love all of those Hill Cantons modules. I've been thinking about running them for a while, and hopefully I will get to it eventually.
Yeah, it strikes me that Slumbering Urson Dunes in particular, like it strikes me that they could fit very well into like hacking, doing a like Fall of Magic run through like their point crawl stuff.
Yeah, I think that makes some sense. I've been planning. What I've been wanting to do is the city module in that set, whose name I'm blanking on right now, even though I love it so much.
Fever Dreaming Marlinko.
Marlinko. Fever Dreaming Marlinko. I've been wanting to like create some custom moves, custom PBTA moves for traversing the city. And do maybe freebooters on the frontier or something with that. To try and get some of that like weird, wacky city adventuring stuff, and then pull in some of the material from the Isles of the Eld and Slumbering Urson Dunes too, as like kind of as material that can be drawn on. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, speaking of module type things, I think I'm going to be running the Carnival of Bullets in Apocalypse World for one of the people on that thread.
Carnival of Bullets?
Yeah, it was originally made for Burned Over.
It's real good.
Yeah, sadly, like the game I ran it in made me realize I didn't like Burned Over because I'm loving this entire game. I love every player, I love every character, I love every decision, but the system does not work for me.
Yeah. Although I do like that. I think that the playset edition is nice and it carries over to Apocalypse World very well.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. And I can trim it. Like I can trim the hard zone down if I need to, and but I really like the circus motif, and the main thing is the Carnival of Bullets. Greg is like even in the apocalypse, people are still running away to the circus for some reason.
Yeah, actually, I was in. Oh, I forget his non-username. Rogan Roll. He was also running a carnival type apocalypse recently.
Oh.
Although it was something I'm wondering if you how you handle it, because one of the things that was kind of felt a little stilted about using Apocalypse World was that it sometimes felt like we needed to force like connecting our performances into like the larger story.
We only had like I think 2 major performances: Jammy's snake cult thing and the whatever the hard holder XP is.
You've had to GM so many snake cults, haven't you?
Yeah, that was very ironic that there was another snake cult in that actually, but okay. Dolly Parton has fought the Psychic Maelstrom in no fewer than 3 of my Apocalypse World games, not of my doing.
By Ferret. That I'm not surprised by. The snake cult thing is the outlier here.
Hello.
It was so good.
How's everybody? So shall we get back into this? The final confrontation is unfolding here in the Temple of Dender exhibit at the Metropolitan Museum of Art, and Odin has intimidated the would-be harbinger into renouncing his faith, and then he has been crushed under the beetles that Yawachika chose to simply drop on him. But as Untitled attempted to show his heart and connect with Yawachika, a friend arrived seeking to help you, and has instead found herself in terrible danger as a beetle's mandibles, kind of closed around her, and a spirit manifested, wielding a knife and saying that they had found the true heart at last. Newt, I'm curious, what do you do?
Well, this is really unfortunate here, but I fling myself at it, and I'm trying to pry it off of her.
Nice. So are you just attacking the spirit physically?
Yeah. Oh no, I thought that like there was like an actual like scarab that had her in its clutches.
There is, yes. Oh, good point. Yes. So there is a physical, albeit clearly magical, scarab that has grown to enormous size and kind of brought its pincers together around her. There is also a spirit, manifesting, kind of like as if it's like rising up out of the beetle and ready to do the will of the the gods that Breckenridge was serving. So you're focused on like ripping open the beetle's clutches and trying to freeing her.
And I was hoping to have another move between doing this and my last time, but because where'd it go?
Oh right, you have 7 darkness tokens here.
Yeah. I think it closed for some reason. 1 second.
Interesting. And are you unleashing the dark through anger and violence?
I mean, I think we just described that's what I'm doing.
All right, take 3 darkness tokens,
I'm
pushing you to
those 3 because
10.
because I need to spend them on something.
And then you unleash the dark. Yes, because you are attempting to enforce your will on this beetle and kind of fight back against the forces arrayed against you here.
All right, that's a 13.
Oh, interesting. Your control falters and you go too far. So you're gonna choose one of the unleash the dark options and the keeper describes an unintended consequence. And at 13, there's no way you're gonna spend enough bonds to bring that down to a 10. I don't think.
I have a lot, I should note.
Okay.
But yeah. I'm not as interested in protecting myself here, but I am gonna get what I want from them, which is to get her out of this scarab's clutches.
Absolutely, yeah. So what you want is Jacqueline safe.
Yeah.
And you kind of tell me how it looks when you just let loose against the scarab.
I think I'm literally like ripping this thing's stupid scarab legs off.
Yeah, because you have colossal strength.
I mean, even though it's a big scarab, it's still like stupid skinny scarab legs. They're pretty easy to snap.
Yeah, absolutely. And so there's pieces, right, of pieces of scarab flying in every direction here. You have shadow control as well. Interesting. Does that manifest in a different way, like when you are channeling it? And is that like part of your attack here at all?
I think it literally like streams out of my chest. It's why I avoid using it so much, because it's a weapon I refuse to use.
Oh right, it's your heart there, right? Yeah. Oh, that's perfect. So as you were totally demolishing this scarab, right? Like, just like unbidden, a burst of shadow comes out from that, that strange wound left in your chest. And the spirit that was emerging catches the shadow and like holds it between her hands, looking down at it and says, "Interesting. I have seen this shadow once before in the realm of the Fae, scarring a prisoner. You wouldn't happen to have left someone you care for behind in those realms, would you, Lizard?"
I am. This is stammering is actually in character and not
yeah.
lost for.
It sounds like you might be torn between.
Yeah.
since that is mechanically demanded, but I'm gonna twist the knife more here, right?
Should I also take a condition?
Yeah, why not? Why not take a condition? Conditions are great. I'm gonna push on it as the spirit here, kind of still like holding like a piece of your shadow in one hand where it's coalescing into just a single shard of obsidian, reaches out another hand to you and says, "Give the mortal to me, creature, and I will guide you to the realm where you left behind your beloved." So go ahead and pick an option from the Torn Between list.
Yeah, I think that I actually I think that I think back to that conversation I had with Biff, and I actually think I'm taking the opposite lesson of what he wanted me to learn in that scene, where there are beautiful things to find out there, but sometimes you have to give up on beautiful to do what's right. And unlike Biff, who I'm pretty certain would have picked the first, and I try to just punch the spirit in. I look like I'm gonna take it, but then I just like punch the spirit in the face, and she probably curses at me as I like drop away from her with as I like fling this psychic out of her grasp.
Nice. Are you tossing Jacqueline to any of your your partner, your colleagues in particular? Who do you trust to catch her if you throw her?
Oh yeah, I guess I actually don't throw her then, because I definitely don't. I don't actually think any of them will actually like keep her alive. So I'm probably actually throwing her over my shoulder and like taking her out myself.
Okay, gotcha. So like you've she's ended up over your shoulder, exactly where the cat was earlier, right? And
yeah.
As you make a go to punch the spirit, but of course it is a spirit, and
I didn't think it would have an effect. I just thought it would really annoy her. The spirit, I mean.
Foolish vermin, right? Like, and so like the spirit like disperses a moment and then reemerges out of another of these scarabs, right? So it's clearly can move among this whole swarm basically. Yawachika, you were balanced on a knife's edge here. You chose to crush Dr. Breckenridge with this swarm, and now things are things are strange. Things are alarming. Things are a little out of control seeming. Yawachika, what do you do?
Oh dear, what do I do? Let me check my moves. And...
Right, you still got that essentially hold to spend from knife's edge, right? So that is an option available to you.
Exactly, and well, I like Newt's potential in hitting a spirit. It's very it may not be hitting Biff, but it is kind of sexy. And the thing is, the spirit's not playing fair by being in a different realm than us, but being able to affect us. So I am going to shatter the barriers between the realms, keeping the flesh and spirit separate, so we may fight them on equal terms. I will mark a condition to bring everyone with me.
Wait, is that a thing? What move is this?
Nothing can stop you to break through any barriers or restraints.
Mark a condition to safely bring others with you. So you are bringing your whole group into the spirit realm, such that you can fight this woman on equal terms here.
Yeah. And I think it looks like I think the Beatles themselves finally they'd been surrounding the Doctor, and I think he's just been crushing them into this tiny ball, and they finally explode, and the dust of all these different carapaces are what's letting the spirits and flesh meet.
Oh, fantastic! So the dust of the beetle carapace is what creates this medium here, and now I think the whole room kind of changes and is kind of suddenly in a washed out sepia, right? You're now that you're partially in the spirit realm, the physical world looks farther away, but the spirit appears totally physically, right? She's a tall, imposing woman. She's wearing Egyptian style robes and has white hair, kind of pulled back into the hairstyle. Yawachika, what's most notable for you is that she looks like she could be a sister to your old mother superior who sacrificed you. Definitely some kind of a family resemblance, at least in your eyes. She looks around and she says, "Curious, you have stepped into my realm."
And I have marked vicious as my condition, as Yawachika chuckles, and you've stepped into ours. I have something to tell you. Batter up.
Well, that sounds like a cue for Biff if I ever heard one.
Yeah, I mean, I feel I had something else in mind, but I can't not respond to that. And I think I just straight up fling an orb of lightning directly at the spirit, and it's there's the whoosh of wind, right? There's the crack of thunder and the crackling of lightning, right? These are my weapons of light and sound, right? That there's an electricity there, but it's also just this sort of overwhelming, barrage of light and sound and electricity. That's really, I think, the weapon there. All this stormy stuff. I'm gonna roll, and I'm gonna spend. I think I'm just gonna spend one darkness token here.
All right, and this is an Unleash the Dark, I think, because you are trying to enforce your will, right? You're trying to basically to shut her down here in some way.
Yep. Yeah, I'm spending one, two actually, and yeah, let's roll. And that's an 11. Which I'm fine with.
The control falters and you go too far. Choose one, but the keeper describes an unintended consequence.
Perfectly happy to do that. And the one is get past your defenses and inflict a condition. I think it's straightforwardly just I'm just this is just a barrage that's trying to weaken her.
Nice. Yeah. So her defenses is as you launch this, basically kind of the air shimmers with hieroglyphics, right? Like she has old kind of charms of protection, just waiting to deflect this sort of thing. So as you are, as you make this barrage, you see the hieroglyphics start to falter and fail, and then what should the hit look like? Is it just a lightning baseball to the face, or what?
Yeah. I mean, I think that's really what it is. It's the lightning baseball to the face. And 100%. I mean, this is it can't just be a lightning baseball to the face, because it's. Here's the thing. I think the way it looks is it's 100% a pitching motion. But here's the thing, right? I'm not a power pitcher. I think she thinks she's dodging out of she thinks she's dodging out of the way. As it cuts, as the ball sort of as the lightning ball cuts, curves in towards her, and hits her square in the face. Right, she dodges into it.
Perfect. And she's she's like, of all the what, and like suddenly the whole like perfect like Egyptian has broken as she's like just spitting a string of curse words at you and the
I feel like we've entered a sports anime.
Oh yeah, no, it's definitely like an anime like kind of pitching motion for sure. That's
nice.
What I'm picturing in my head.
And I'm just double checking here. So that was an 11 plus on Unleash the Dark.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so you go too far, and I get described an unintended consequence, and you also did not choose avoid reprisals, harm, or cost.
Correct.
So in some ways, there's plausibly two bad things coming out of this. And where are you on darkness tokens?
I'm down to 1.
Down to 1. Fair enough.
But depending upon what the consequences are, we'll see how I respond. I may grab a couple more to right.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the like way you go too far and have an unintended consequence is when like one of the like lightning blasts does get like deflected by her by her shield and it strikes Untitled. So Untitled, I'm going to ask you to mark a condition from the collateral damage there.
Mm-hmm.
And then she kind of screams in wrath, right, that you've done this, and she says, whatever tricks you have up your sleeves, you're too late. And
is it clear to us who she is or what she is? The answer could be no. I just
she's a priestess who you saw as a spirit moments ago, and now you see in the flesh thanks to Yawachika pushing you through into this realm. I don't think any of you like recognize her, save the fact that Yawachika sees a connection between her and a person from his past.
So I think as my ball hits, I shout at her, turn away from your masters, right? Can't you see that? Can't you see who is more powerful? And I'm asking someone to betray another, and I'm going to take a couple darkness tokens.
Yeah. How many darkness tokens for that?
2. And I'm just shouting things.
2. You'd say 2 darkness tokens?
Yeah.
Cool. She says, no, not when I can taste victory. And she flings that obsidian knife that she had formed out of Newt's darkness, and she's throwing that right at Jacqueline, who's over Newt's shoulder here. Untitled, so far I've only hit you with lightning, so I want to check. I want to check on what you're doing as this this scene unfolds. Now that especially what does it look like when Untitled is in the like spirit realm, right? Like, are you more solid here as well?
I'm assuming this is like an Egyptian spirit realm, right? That we've entered into. So Untitled is like kind of 2-dimensional.
Perfect. Like you're a tomb painting.
Like I'm a tomb painting. And as this knife is flung, Untitled is going to like start screaming, but he's also pulling up all of like these unworthy hearts, all of these dead who have passed before. And I'm just gonna try to like disintegrate the knife in mid-flight.
So you're channeling. It sounds like you're channeling the people who've been sacrificed along the way for this.
Yeah, and I'm also before I do that, I yell, "Biff, cover your ears," because if he hears all of these people, he's gonna make them worship him.
So are you asking someone to follow your instructions?
Yes, I am.
How many darkness tokens are you taking?
I'll take 3 for that, which brings me to 5.
All right. So when you as you're channeling these unworthy hearts. Do you think this is a kind of a power through darkness thing where you're straining to do the extraordinary and avert imminent danger by calling on all these shades?
Yes. Yeah, I think that one works. Uh,
I see in the
Okay.
chat that Biff will not be covering his ears.
You will not be okay. Fair enough.
How much darkness?
You do you, Biff.
How much darkness are you spending?
I'll spend 3 again.
All right, go ahead and roll that power through darkness.
10.
On an 8 to 10, you use your power with great precision and effect, changing the situation before you. Yeah, absolutely. So, like, indeed, the darkness shatters in midair. The immediate danger is averted, and I'll give you an option of taking a bond with Jacqueline, whom you have saved, or taking a bond with Newt, whom you have also sort of saved, because I feel like it would have gone badly for him if the darkness from his heart had been formed into a weapon and killed someone who was trying to protect.
I will take a bond with Newt.
Nice. Yeah, Yawa. You have still one token left, or one hold from Knife's Edge left, or no? Did you spend it all?
I still have one hold left. Yes.
I wonder if you want to spend that and possibly bring this to a conclusion. I don't know.
I don't want to spend it. I'm still waiting just in case she goes for Jacqueline again. But I do want to unleash darkness against this.
Nice.
Thing.
Isn't one of the things you can do with that unleashing the dark? As if
I could with an 8 or 10, but I will risk the roll.
All right, then go ahead.
And I'm going to spend 2 darkness points on this.
All right, and tell me a little about what this looks like, because your powers are about like amplifying negative energy through negative emotions through tapping into the cosmos in some ways.
Yeah, I think what I'm doing is Newt seems to be angry, seems to be vicious, and I'm going to make this spirit feel the frigid void of space and hopefully chill her so much that she'll be easily cracked by Newt.
Wow. Let's see that. Let's see how that goes. So you're just channeling the terrible hopelessness of the void at her.
Yeah, I got a 9, and for no real reason, I'll have the symbiote push that to a 10, just to feel more important, I guess.
I think what it is that you have like a little tattoo of an astronaut, right? And like the symbiote in the astronaut tattoo kind of rises off of you with the little technological umbilical cord going back to you, and kind of does it does a little dance in the air, it's trying to get your attention, being hey, look, I'm participating.
Yeah, I will expose a weakness or flaw of theirs, and unlike the rest of y'all, I'll avoid reprisals, harm, or cost.
Nice. So basically, you're kind of filling her with this terrible, this terrible cold hopelessness. As she's seen the knife shatter, she's seen you kind of step into her realm. I think she kind of wraps her arms around herself and sinks down.
Yeah, and then
no, this wasn't how it was supposed to go. All the prophecies said today we would open the door. I don't understand.
And I will yell to Newt. I've weakened her with my powers. Now it's your time to strike while the iron is cold.
Hey.
And I am asking someone to use my power as they see fit.
So interesting.
I think I'll take 3 darkness tokens for that.
All right. Where are you at on darkness?
6.
Interesting, but you haven't just done a move, so we'll hold on that. Yeah, Newt, what do you do?
Well, because I am thinking here. I could strike out again, but I would then be
Here's what I'll tell you. We've exposed a weakness, right? She's kind of she's in this moment of essentially questioning if she can even do the.
I think I actually like approach her and say, look, I know we all have prophecies around us, but sometimes prophecies don't mean a whole lot. Sometimes all we have to do is continue on with our lives rather than, I don't know, start some crazy death cult because a prophecy said we had to.
I didn't start the Order of the Almighty Devourer. I'm upholding a long and proud tradition.
I get that it's a part of a tradition, but
we broke away from the Order of the Integrated Wyvern when it lost the true path.
Look, you can see that you're losing here, lady. I don't want to be harsh with you, but let's be real here. I think that rather than try to keep fighting forever, maybe it's better to rest at peace, maybe. I am trying to reveal my heart.
Oh, interesting.
Because I don't want to lash out again, because I'm just going to...
You take all that darkness token. That's true. Interesting. So you're trying to sincerely connect with this priestess.
Yes.
Sure. I'm gonna. Let's reveal her name, right? We'll say in the process of this conversation, you hear Gloriosa's name, and yeah, she looks up at you, right? With eyes that have seen so much on both sides of the veil, and now at her moment of victory, she's seemingly been stymied, and you're asking her to accept it. Go ahead and roll. Tell me what darkness you're spending, and roll as you reveal your heart.
Spending 3, and I rolled a 13. I mean, which does mean that she is afraid of me, I'm pretty certain.
Let's take a look at reveal your heart. On an 11 plus, you have a moment of closeness, but also weakness. Ask each other, how do I scare you at this moment? After you both answer, you each choose one. Nice. And she is an NPC, so this will be fun. How does she scare you at this moment, Newt? She is seemingly been defeated here.
She's what I don't want to become. I don't want to become this. I mean, I'm not saying it out loud. Well, I said it a little bit out loud, but already. But someone that follows a stupid prophecy because they said you had to do it. Like I don't want to be that, and that's what scares me about her.
Absolutely, and I think what scares her about you, right, is we get a cut to her perspective, and she sees you for a moment as the emissary of an apocalypse completely different from hers, right? Yeah. And she realizes that she's being that she's old news. There's a new hotness in the apocalyptic scene, and
everybody. Jeez, I'm more than just a hot body. Sorry, go on.
No, that's fine. Yeah, so I think for a moment she sees you with like the night fae, like manifesting above you, and she says, the old kingdom truly is dead. And
I'm sorry, lady, but I don't know what it means to cross over to the other side. I'm not and I kind of glance over at Untitled, but if you need someone to be there with you for when things come to an end, I guess I can be there.
Yeah, you're basically just offering to like accompany her as she moves on from this plane.
Yep.
She seeing no further kind of way for her life's work to continue and her afterlife's work to continue. She nods and she like reaches up, touches.
Oh yeah, but actually, oh no, you already answered that. I forgot. Sorry. Go ahead.
Why she's scared of you?
Yeah, no, I just remembered. We did answer that. Sorry.
Yeah, and I think she touches your cheek and says, "I can't believe so many lifetimes come to naught in this moment. Give them hell from us. You have earned the chance to make of this world what you will, outrider of the Fae." And then she turns, and a yawning door appears before her as she walks through it. She has become quite fearful of you, so the number of darkness tokens you now have becomes 4. If I'm reading this move right, each participant chooses one from this list.
I was already at 4, so.
All right.
I'm gonna gain a bond with what the darkness demands of me.
That sounds right. And I think Yawachika, if you are willing to like kind of let go what you did, you can kind of bring your fellow monstrous agents and poor Jacqueline Balmer back into the totally mortal version of the Temple of Dender and the Metropolitan Museum of Art.
Yes, and there is a move I would like to try and trigger with Newt.
As you all kind of recombobulate yourselves.
Mm-hmm. Yawachika will walk up to Newt. Is Jacqueline still on your shoulder?
Well, now that things are back to normal, I think I put her down gently.
Yeah.
She's like, "I was coming to warn you about the professor, and what just happened?"
Don't worry, we kind of figured it out, and I pat her on the shoulder.
And
he's part of this order. I put all the pieces together. There's this order.
He's dead. Don't worry about it. Anyway, Newt, that was not how I would have handled things, but it was intriguing. And I don't mean that in the off-putting, pretentious manner. But
okay.
Would you want to do some human things on off time, perhaps? I've never been to a club.
Okay, all right. Actually, I think technically this is probably you are reaching out to me, so we actually should see how this roll goes.
Oh no, this is Alpha and Omega. I need your
okay.
answer. Is it yes or no?
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Okay, so
Training Magenta again.
Remind me how this move works as well.
When you deepen the connection between you two, choose. And since we are not apart from each other, I am going to mark ruin to change a small but significant aspect of our shared fate to bring us closer to ruin. And
immediately gaining one bond with them and one bond with what the darkness demands of you.
And I think this is me forgiving. Forgiving. I think this is me asking for forgiveness for my transgressions earlier in the park, and it's making Newt see me as a more emotionally mature monster than I was.
So, is the idea that you are bringing things closer to ruin by making it more possible that a romance?
I'm more appealing.
Yes, because of course, as we know, the darkness demands of Newt that he fall in love with a harbinger of the apocalypse.
And I have to serve the most powerful one, which seems to be Newt. He punched a spirit and then talked her down.
I like it. So we pull away on Newt blushing magenta again, and you said you had a thought for a closing scene, Biff.
I do, but it's a little. I want to make sure everyone's cool with it because it's me kind of like making a big play for the fiction here. So the idea is here. The scene is it's back to that credit scene at the beginning of me, doing like 6 different things while playing chess with director Nagel.
There we go.
And I think I think what we're seeing is that director Nagel at a certain moment just kind of like freezes and starts to shimmer. And I stop and I take my hands and sort of like do this light sculpting thing. And the reason he looks so much like me is that he's like this light homunculus I've made. And it's a secret I want to conceal. I get to declare it. I have a move where I can declare a secret I want to conceal. Declare a secret or truth you wish to conceal. Describe what lie or distraction will replace it. Right. So the secret is the director is not a person. And that's why the reason he looks so much like me is for me to be able to maintain it for so long. Like,
so is the reveal here that Division serves your whims through this director?
I don't think it's that Division as a whole does for sure, right? This is a local office,
okay.
Right? You've talked about that before.
Yeah, maybe other branches out there.
Yeah, but I think the idea is that at the very least that like I'm picturing that there are like politics he has to play, right? And so there's a role here also for this move. So like a failure, you lose control of the lie and the spark of divinity used to create it. Right. So there's like I think stuff here, but I want to make sure people are cool with this as like an idea.
I like it because it feels like Division is very much like human politics. Like this is you like being more human than human, to quote a.
Oh, it's me trying to control the humans through my.
I like the idea that we can discover this and hold it over your head. So,
absolutely.
Yeah, let's if it's all right, end the session on that roll. I mean, we'll do the end of session questions, but are we cool with having the session end with Biff making this roll to see like what the nature of his director Nagel construct is exactly?
Yeah. I'm going to spend 1 token on this, and I think I'm going to take 2 because this is me feeling others are beneath me, right? Like that my disdain for everybody else in this is, I think, apparent.
All right, the lies that serve me. This is the move, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so I'm going to roll. Roll +1. 3.
That's a
3 total.
That is a 3 total. Yes. So on a 7 minus, you lose control of the lie and the spark of your divinity you used to create it. The keeper will tell you what happens next. Prepare for the worst.
Oh, God,
yeah. So I think
this fake guy is becoming sentient.
I think we'll see some of how this plays out in our future sessions. But I think the first thing we see is the 4 of you returning to Division headquarters, feeling like you've done a pretty good job, and then like Director Nagel is like standing there and like tosses down onto the table in front of you, a newspaper, right, and or a tabloid, right. The headline says, League legend locks lips with lizard. Says, this is not the public relations that Division wants. And like Biff, this is the first time he has kind of like turned this ire on you in a way that you couldn't anticipate, right? Like there's clearly a sense you have that what you've done has started to spiral out of control. And let's go ahead and check the end of session moves. So For each PC, we're going to get some answers. Newt, did you express your monstrous nature and/or your humanity?
Yeah, I did. I think a lot.
I think so.
Yeah,
I think
particularly
punching and then
decided.
talking down the bad
Yeah.
guy, right? That fits both of these. Go ahead
Yeah.
and mark an XP for that. Did you learn something significant about yourself and/or your impending ruin?
Yeah, I think I did. I think I definitely did with my former love and my unwillingness to just like sacrifice everything to like save them.
Mm-hmm. Mark an XP. Did you learn something significant about a fellow monster?
I've learned apparently everyone wants a piece of this, and I think that's
Mark an XP for that as well. Did you uncover at least one key of the apocalypse or attempt to unlock Doom's door? That's interesting. Is that a? I don't know if that's a like.
collectively unlock Doom's door.
Yeah, because one person rolls for it, but you all did do it together.
Because it's technically it's like the solve a miss. It's like the theorized move from Brindlewood Bay, where it's a move
very
that
much
we're all
so.
sharing in, rather than like a move we're all doing singularly.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Then I think you and everyone are going to be good on that score because you guys unlocked Doom's door together. So no additional ruin from that. I see. Craig wants ruin. That's all right.
I've got 0 ruin.
How is that even possible?
None of my moves trigger ruin, unless
and you took a division move rather than a ruin move, because of course ruin move lets you prime the pump by just being like, yeah, I'm gonna hit this move and take the ruin from it. I'm excited about that division move going off. We'll find circumstances where you need to pull a painting out of the Forbidden Gallery. Never fear. Ferret, let's turn to you. Did you express your monstrous nature and/or your humanity?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you sure did. I mean, crushing the cornered suspect with beetles. That's something. Mark an XP. Did you learn something significant about yourself and/or your impending ruin?
I apparently am very petty about my impending ruin.
That's something you can learn about yourself. Mark an XP. Did you learn something significant about a fellow monster?
I learned that Biff is a showman at the very least, and And
you were present for Untitled's show as well, which was a more subtle one, but you were there to see his performance.
Yep.
Yeah. So, speaking of Untitled, did you express your monstrous nature and/or your humanity?
I think so. I think the shape changing was actually expressing my humanity and not my monstrous nature.
Though you were also lying.
I was.
But what is more human than to lie? Take an XP for that. Did you learn something significant about yourself and/or your impending ruin?
Yeah. Biff is the one I need to stop. Biff is.
I see. So this is something about your.
Biff is going to showman his way into the apocalypse,
and something significant about a fellow monster.
Yeah, I think that counts too.
Yeah, take all that XP. That's fine.
And Newt's a hottie, so haven't gotten to that part yet, but we'll get there.
How are we doing on XP? Has anyone clocked in advance yet?
You have to have 8 XP.
Yeah,
that's a lot of XP. Well,
I mean, if we're doing a 4-session run, we could just say like make it 5 track, because 8's a lot for a 4-session.
Well,
run.
It says in the on the shorter ones that every 2 sessions you should get an advance.
Perfect. So keep the XP, right? So we'll all take a look and take an advance between these sessions. So when we come back, everyone can introduce the advance they've taken, and if you fill up the XP track, you'll get an additional one. So plausibly two total advances during our little series there. Cool. Biff, let me turn to you. Did you sorry, I've forgotten the questions. Did you express your monstrous nature and/or your humanity?
Oh, both very much so.
Yeah,
nothing if not a pendulum swinging between those two extremes.
I like how the public, helps ground you. But of course, there is the dark side of being a celebrity too, which we can start to bring in. Did you learn something about yourself and/or your impending ruin?
I mean, there was that vision of
There was that vision.
No, that vision is no longer going to come true because, well, I guess I don't know who is under the bear mask.
You don't know who's under the mask.
It looked like Dr. Breckenridge, but it could still be Dr. Breckenridge. He didn't die. He just walked away, right?
No, Breckenridge died, but of course
he's on the other side now.
Yeah, I mean, anyone with a somewhat similar build could be under that bear mask.
Yes, that's true. Did you learn something about a fellow monster?
I feel like Newt really opened up to me.
You two had something going on.
We had a moment, yeah, and also, yeah.
So that's 3 XP total there. Very nice. 4.
Right. Also the keys, grasping keys.
No, that's only, you don't mark ruin. You mark
ruin
if
got
you
it.
answer no to
Yeah. This is one where if you didn't uncover a key or attempt to unlock the door, you mark 1 ruin. So if you spend a whole session just talking about your feelings, ruin will catch up to you. Is kind of what
I'm 1 ruin away from a ruin advance, so that's going to happen.
So perhaps a whole barrage of interesting advances in the coming sessions. Thank you all for playing. Thank you for solving the mystery of threading Cleopatra's needle. And I will see you all for further sessions of Apocalypse Keys. Anyone who's been watching along, thanks for joining us for Empire City Apocalypse Keys Unsleeping Metropolis. Till next time, stay safe out there.